Hey everyone, it's Shauna Young, occupational therapist with Mountain Therapy Services. Today we're talking about handwriting. So if you have illegible handwriting, maybe you have cramping, white knuckling, difficulty with endurance for the handwriting process, fatigue in the hand, you may benefit from a modified grasp on your pencil by either making a modification to it with a pencil grip, or some other tools that I'll show you here in this video. Handwriting really requires a lot of skills. You have to have the cognitive skills to attend to the task, the visual perceptual skills for letter formation and recognition, and the motor planning to be able to understand what strokes go together for handwriting. But today we're going to talk more about the motor skills. So with handwriting, the most efficient grasp is a tripod grasp where you have a thumb and your index and middle finger in contact with the pen. Traditionally, you're taught to have your thumb in this position. You have your index finger makes a circle in opposition, and then you have the pen resting on your middle finger. Some of you may have learned to also put the tip of the two fingers on the pen at the same time. So if you're having difficulty maintaining the grasp of your fingers on the pencil, it could be due to the strength in your fingers and your thumb, your ability to have good fine motor coordination with your index and middle finger and thumb. It could be difficulty with thumb opposition, so your ability to oppose the thumb and bring it to the different parts of your hand to be able to maintain an open web space here instead of flattened. You have to be able to have an element of extension here and finger isolation so that you can maintain the pencil without fisting it up. And so a number of skills are required. You've got to have some wrist stability, strength here, shoulder stability, and core strength as well. So if it's strength that you are working on, I do have a video about wrist stability and forearm strength and coordination, and also a video about fine motor coordination so that you can work on strengthening the muscles needed so that you have better endurance with handwriting. If it is that you get just soreness and your fingers get tired, or you're using too much pressure when you're writing, your force is too great, maybe because your body awareness is not good, or you have difficulty maintaining your fingers in the proper position throughout the writing process, there's a variety of pencil grips that you can use, and you basically can work out of them. You progress with your control of your handwriting utensil, then you would work towards not needing one possibly. So we're going to take a look at some of the basic ones today. The first idea is just having a more built up pen, something that's a little bit thicker, and to give you better proprioceptive feedback, and also if that pinch is a little bit hard for you, it gives you a little bit more of a bigger surface to maintain grasp on. Along the same lines, a built up pencil grasp. These ones I'm using today are from the Pencil Grip Inc. company, which I'll have the link below in the description. But anyway, they have a variety of options to try, because really it depends on the individual. I wouldn't be able to recommend a specific pencil grip for somebody without trying them with the person to see what works best. But you can see here, this is more of a basic cylinder type design. It's got some texture in it, and this would be good for somebody who finds they have redness, they're pressing too hard through the pencil, and they need the feedback of the pencil without digging their fingers into it. And so that's a good one to try. There's other varieties that show you where to put your fingers on here. Some of them are very tiny and difficult to maintain that finger grasp on, but give a little bit of of input on if your fingers are correctly placed or not. All of these pencil grip ones tell you where to put your thumb, and they're also reversible for left or right. But again, it has indentations to be able to place your fingers in the correct position and maintain them there. If this style, it's a little bit more built up towards the towards the hand side of the pen. If that's difficult for you, there is a larger one that prevents crossover, like if you are somebody who writes with your thumb wanting to cross over, and you have difficulty keeping that thumb in an open web space and your thumb and index finger separated. This is a good style to start with, and then you could work down towards a lesser modified version. And then also there are these claws that really put your fingers and thumb into a very specific position here, and so you can try that out as well. It's called the writing claw, and so each of these, you know, pretty different from each other, but you could try each of those that come in a kit. I also tried, I have these easy holds that I really like for keeping your hands on things, whether it's a toothbrush or hairbrush or kitchen utensil. But I also played around and looped one end of one of the skinnier easy holds, looped one through the other and slid my pen through so that I could put my index finger in. And then I was able to write like this. So it didn't fall out of my hand if my finger opened, and it also gave me a cue on how my hand should stay. And so finding the right hold so it's not too tight for you is important, of course, but I kind of like that idea. It also just helped me have that open web space right here. Now, we didn't talk earlier, but also important is your distinction between the two sides of your hand. So we have more of a precision side on this side that does more of the skilled motions, and we have more of a power and grasp side. And when we write, we really need to be able to stabilize through this part of our hand while we're writing and use these fingers. And if these other fingers get in the way, that can be difficult for handwriting too. So sometimes people will put something in their hand in order to train it. It could be something smaller, and then they work on writing like this. Or using a clothespin. It's a little big for some people, but you can also write like this to keep that side of the hand busy and isolated from the precision side. And then another idea is you could take some coban and folding these two fingers down like so, wrap the coban under here, and then you could wrap so that those fingers are kind of out of the way, not wrapping too tight, you know, for circulation purposes, and then tuck those fingers out of the way too, like that. Usually they come with a little pin that can work too, so then you could work on your handwriting like that with your fingers out of the way, and it's giving that input of where the fingers should be close to the hand. So that's another good option too. And then lastly, I was going to show you an idea if you're just having trouble where your pen wants to come out of that web space, and maybe you're getting some of that flatness here from the thumb and index finger being close together. Sometimes you just need a reminder of where your end of your pen needs to be close to the web space. So I just took an elastic loop here that's not too tight for my circulation. This is one of those little pot holder loom stretchy elastic rings, and I created a knot here where I felt like was appropriate so it wasn't tighter on my wrist, and then a little loop that my pen can go through too. And the way you do it is it just helps position it so that if your hand otherwise had a tendency to get the pen out of position like this just gives it that reminder of where it needs to be. Sometimes people feel like this is a little restrictive, and so you got to get the right amount of tension here so it's not pulling it too far back, because we do need to have the ability to move the fingers like this. So anyway, I hope these ideas work out for you. And you know, if it's something that's just strength and weakness, you just get tired with writing, maybe it's not a pressure problem that you're having, then working on strength and coordination of your movements is often going to be your go-to in that position. And so take a look at those other videos about fine motor coordination and strength and wrist stability and start there. All right, hope this was helpful. Have a great day.